Thinking Aloud. Conversations on the leading edge of knowledge and discovery with psychologist Jeffrey Mishlove.
Sometimes apparition-like phenomenon occur produced artificially, such as the Philip experiment in Toronto.
Yes, that's a case, you could say, of PK by committee, where the members of the Toronto Society for Psychical Research created a character they called Philip. They gave him an entirely fictitious history. They spent a lot of time really immersing themselves in the story of Philip. And then they tried to communicate at a seance with Philip. They got raps on the table, they got table levitations, or at least movements, and the table flipping itself over. And the responses to questions they asked to Philip were appropriate to what they knew about Philip. So if
the story they had created.
Yeah, so if they asked the character Philip something to which they didn't have a clear answer, Philip's responses via raps were always rather indistinct. But when it was an answer that they would easily have expected, the responses were very strong.
Well, and this is a case where not quite an apparition, because nobody claimed to have seen Philip, but everything else suggested there was a character in the room.
Yes. And so it's a reminder that we shouldn't too glibly adopt a survivalist interpretation of phenomena that look very much like standard mediumistic phenomena.
Well, I guess it's also a reminder that when people report these sorts of bizarre experiences, that it's not wise to dismiss them out of hand, as so many people tend to do.
Right. It's certainly not just something that can be attributed to hypnosis or hallucination, for example. Those are very weak explanations. So when everybody at a seance experiences the same ostensible paranormal physical phenomenon, if we try to say the medium just hypnotized them, that usually is a way of betraying your ignorance about the nature of hypnosis. Because one of the things we definitely know about hypnosis is that people differ sometimes dramatically in their degree of hypnotic susceptibility. So there really is no evidence for collective hypnosis of the kind that would be required to explain away cases of physical mediumship.
Stephen Braude, thank you so much for being with me. I know we could talk a long time about apparitions, materializations, apports, macro-psychokinesis, and physical mediumship, and I hope we pursue this topic even further.
I'm sure we will. Thank you.
And thank you for being with us.